Well, I guess what I'd say is that the recording industry, tried, I think, with the wrong approach to get consumers to not copy music, all across the internet. And they knew that if people were just giving music away to each other for free, that their business wouldn't go very far. And so SDMI was the first attempt at trying to come up with some kind of strategy to control copying of music. Ultimately, the recording industry never found a strategy that worked. So today, music is flowing around the internet all over the place. My company, or what I do, haven't been directly involved in peer-to-peer. We don't do that, but I guess really what I'd say about that is those industry efforts were not successful. And maybe today, with the hindsight that they have today, they would have been more intelligent about how they did approach them. But the recording industry initially was a little bit heavy-handed, a little bit too controlling, and that continued for years and years. And so ultimately, the consumers kind of took control, and now the recording industry is going without any kind of protection on the files. So there's no more protected music files. Probably within about one year from now, there'll be no more at all. I feel that the consumers kind of forced flexibility, and I think the recording industry made a mistake not to pick a standardized single vendor digital rights management system way back 4 or 5 years ago. And they didn't want to do that because they were afraid of empowering one company to control their whole business. And so instead they empowered no companies to control their business. They had a big fight. Apple won, and now Apple controls their business more than they do. So it was just a bunch of mistakes, I think, made by people who are reasonably intelligent about these things, but in the perspective of the time, they made the wrong decisions. We work both sides of the aisle. Basically, on the consumer side, the consumers submit the song names. So the song names in our database, not all of them, but a lot of them come from the end users submitting them to the database. CD ripping is not pirating files. I mean, if it's easier for people to pirate files by going to the internet and downloading the files themselves, starting with a CD is kind of not something that people really do to pirate files, I think, in a huge way. Usually, people are taking the CD collection that they bought, and the first thing that they do when they get a digital music player is they take all the CDs that they've got and put it in. And so that's really our business. So I think the record business has, I think, looked at any conversion of music CDs to files to be dangerous, but now they realize this is just part of normal life, and that that's not the dangerous part. The dangerous part for them is when people take giant hard drives full of files and go meet their friends and they exchange the entire hard drive, like, in 10 minutes.
Yes.
And so, and maybe that, if it was happening on a very small scale, wouldn't be so bad, but the problem is that problem is happening on a large scale. Pretty much every college student is exchanging all the music that they have with every other college student, and before they leave college they have 50,000 songs. So it doesn't mean that they don't love music. They wouldn't be doing this if they didn't love music, and so we see, through what Gracenote sees, the usage continues to go up. So consumption of music is going up. There's more use of music in everything. You can use music in your slideshows on your computer. You can listen to it while you're jogging. You can play it on your stereo system. So music consumption is going up. The problem is the sales of recorded music are not going up. They're going down. And so I think what's got to have happen for the recording business is they have to reinvent themselves, and they have to have a new product that's more relevant to the consumer today. And that's probably more related to a music product which contains music, but also contains the kinds of things a music fan likes. Access to tickets, or information about the artist, or photos, or videos, or other user-created community kind of things. And that's more a package for music today than just the music itself. The music itself, by itself, a single track of music, has less value today, but the overall package of I think the assets of the artist has more value. So the problem is the recorded music companies need to broaden what they do or change what they do, and they need to do it relatively rapidly.